we've got some MCU news coming your way. It's hot off the press, okay? The headline jumped off the screen. Fandom Wire is the website, and the headline reads, "They weren't happy with it. Marvel reportedly planning to give Charlie Cox's Daredevil spinoff series the Batgirl treatment." And we know what happened to Batgirl. In the comic books, she was paralyzed by the Joker. But anyway, the Batgirl movie, it was shelved. It was filmed and shelved, okay? DC said no. There's a lot of criticism with the way, I forgot the actress's name who plays her. Was it Leslie Grace that played Batgirl? The way she looked in her outfit just looked goofy and whatever. Very attractive young actress though. But let's get into the article. Who is the author of this article? Oh, okay. I'm not cussing. Ishita Chatterjee. Sounds like an anagram or something. All right, but anyway. Out of all the upcoming MCU shows, it's undeniable that Charlie Cox's Daredevil is the most highly anticipated because of the legacy of Daredevil in a series. On Netflix, it was stellar. Now, you know how I felt about how he was treated in the She-Hulk series. Garbage! Utter garbage. After all, Vincent D'Onofrio is returning, and it's rumored that characters like White Tiger and more will be paying Hell's Kitchen a visit. You know how I felt about how Vincent D'Onofrio was treated in the Hawkeye series. Trash! Not the actor. But the fact that he lost to Kate Bishop and her mom offended me. And then he was forced to eat crow at the end. He's apologizing. You know, I've always loved you like a niece. And just hear boom, boom, boom. Come on with the dumb stuff. But anyway, however, things aren't looking good for the show preceding it, which is the Echo series, which is due out on Disney+. It'll be binged. The whole series will be available as soon as it drops on November 29th, okay? Charlie Cox's Matt Murdock and Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin were rumored to meet for the first time in the MCU in the Hawkeye spinoff, Echo. However, there's almost negligible hype for the show starring Alaqua Cox as Maya Lopez, and that is a shame, because she was promised she's going to be the lead in the series, and there's bad press going in already with an unknown character, with a relatively unknown actress. So that's kind of a raw deal she's getting. Okay. However, that's not its major concern. Apparently, Marvel Studios thought about canning it completely. That's what they mean by the Batgirl treatment. Chris Brewster is a veteran Marvel stuntman who recently worked on Captain America: Brave New World instead of New World Order. Previously, he has worked on famed MCU projects like The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Black Panther, Daredevil, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and more. He revealed on the Akuzo Unscripted podcast that Marvel Studios are far from pleased with Alaqua Cox's Echo, and at one point they were actively thinking of canceling it like the 2022 DC film Batgirl. The now infamous DC superhero film never saw the light of day, even though it was done filming, because WBD, Warner Brothers Discovery, used it for tax write-offs, citing that the film was unreleasable and bad. You know it's bad when the studio says it's bad and unreleasable. He said, I always get the word of mouth. I heard they were going to Batgirl it, Echo. This is a quote, because they weren't happy with it, and now they're doing reshoots and are planning on airing it. But I think that could also have something to do with the fact that there's a strike and there's not a lot of content right now, so we haven't made already. The implications of the veteran stuntman's words are interesting, but what does this mean for Daredevil? Will Echo's downfall take down the upcoming Daredevil 2? Interesting. Now, before I get into this further, and this is more of what Chris Brewster, the stuntman, is saying, my anticipation for Daredevil Born Again, it ebbed some. That needle of anticipation, it receded because there's talk of it having a Deadpool kind of tone to it, and that sounds stupid to me. That sounds really dumb to me. Let's get back to the article. Chris Brewster said that even though Marvel Studios isn't happy with Echo, they are planning on doing reshoots and fixing it as much as they can before airing it. As such, one has to ask if it will affect Charlie Cox's Daredevil, which is rumored to be connected to it. Previously, it was speculated that storyline from Echo will be explored in Daredevil. Okay. As such, the news of reshoots and Marvel not being satisfied with the show is troubling. In fact, The allegations by Brewster that Marvel could use it as backup programming because of the ongoing WGA strike and the possible SAG strike are more concerning. So not only is the Writers Guild of America striking, but it looks like the Screen Actors Guild are going to be striking as well, which will suck. It means that it's filler at best and rumored to be not too good as well. That's a very bad sign. This isn't the first time rumors of Echo being subpar have circulated online. As such, one has to wonder... I feel like I've been saying as such a lot in this article. As such, one has to wonder if Marvel will be able to salvage this. The studio needs to put out good projects after getting flack throughout Phase 4 for putting out less than good offerings. It remains to be seen how Echo ultimately turns out to be. Echo will be released on November 29th, 2023 on Disney+. As I said, it will be in a binge distribution package. The entire series will be available the day it drops, okay? I said that Echo, Agatha, Kevin of Chaos, and Ironheart should have been canned before they began production. Because nobody wants to see these series. And that's just the truth of it. Nobody wants to see these. But the fact that they shot it, you might as well go ahead and hear it. Okay? There was a point that I was going to make, but I kind of forgot about it. Maybe I should just interject more before finishing the article. But, okay, I figured out what I was going to say. All right. I had a lot of anticipation for Secret Invasion. If you've seen the 2 recalls, reviews, retorts, reactions that I did to both episodes, I think Resurrection and Promises, I'm not hyped for it anymore. And that's not good. It's like when your audience is indifferent, when your audience is nonchalant towards new material, it's not good. Because now when things like this are dropped and the studio is saying we don't know how it's going to be and we're thinking of Batgirling it, that might cause a lot of viewers to tune out. So MCU, you got to get things on point. You got to, come on now. When you shot it, you should have been able to tell from the dailies and from the edits how it's progressing. Before it was finished, before it goes into post-production, you should be looking at things. Like, this is a disturbing trend. Like, well, this isn't really all that good, but we might have to put it out anyway. Guys, you got to come out of this creative valley you guys are and make it back to the mountaintop. You know, peaks and valleys. Right now, they're in a creative valley. There's not a lot of anticipation for anything MCU right now. Nothing. You know, there's back and forth about whether Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is the best thing since Endgame. I have not seen it because I don't really want to see it. And again, that's indifference that the MCU cannot afford. So MCU, Kevin Feige, whoever else is involved in these things, you really got to have your finger on the button. I don't mean be a micromanager, but there has to be a new set of eyes on each project as it's being filmed. So it's not filler. Like they use the word filler in this article. And they use the words Batgirl, which is death, basically. Because Batgirl, the movie, I don't think will ever see the light of day. So when Echo drops November 29th, I will be watching it, and I will be doing reviews, retorts, recalls, and recaps. So the next article, the website is MovieWeb. The headline, Daredevil Stuntman, probably Chris Brewster again, thinks the MCU really hurting the character with cartoon She-Hulk appearance. This is something that I had some issues with as well. Former Daredevil stuntman Chris Brewster, okay, that's the same Chris Brewster, is worried about what Marvel Studios is doing with the character. And so have I. After brief appearances in Spider-Man No Way Home and She-Hulk and a potential role in Echo, Charlie Cox's Daredevil is getting his own series in the MCU next year. Titled Daredevil Born Again, the show will present a new story for the man without fear after his successful run on Netflix. Why would you do a new story? If you had success, you had 3 great seasons on Netflix. Why would you try to revamp that? That's dumb to me. That's stupid. The article, by the way, is by Maka Reynolds. And his or her name will be spelled for you guys. But back to my rant. Why would you do that? A new story? Like, new origins? Like, no, rumored to be no Foggy, no come on, MCU! However, after what was shown of the character in Tatiana Maslany-led She-Hulk Attorney at Law, some fans are concerned about how different the new series will be from the one issued by the Red Inn platform, Netflix, which was one of the most acclaimed productions of the superhero genre on the small screen, by many even considered the best. That second season of Daredevil, that first season of Punisher, awesome stuff. And I also believe that John, what's his name? Can't believe I don't remember his name. Who plays the Punisher? John Bernthal. There it is. He's rumored to be in this too. So hopefully they're not going to mess him up. And it seems fans aren't the only ones who have doubts about what Marvel Studios will do with the character. In an interview on the Ikuzu Unscripted podcast, former Daredevil stuntman Chris Brewster gave his thoughts on the way the studio is approaching the character and the differences with Netflix. This is the same. Wait a minute. No, it's a different quote. So Chris Brewster is really trying to get some bread because both articles are about him. I think that now that the MCU has taken over the character, I think they are really, really hurting it. Wow, I'm just coming out and said it. If you watch She-Hulk, they turned Daredevil into a cartoon. It's all animated and it looks bad. You know I love CG to enhance real movement, but if you don't have any real movement, it just becomes a cartoon. It's just CG. There's no weight to it. And what always made the action on Daredevil so good is it was visceral. Yes, especially that long hallway scene. Not the Darth Vader hallway scene. But Daredevil had the first hallway scene. Steady cam shots, awesome action, gritty. It feels like this guy is really fighting these guys. It's almost like the camera just happened to pick up people really fighting rather than somebody saying action. Hit it, all right? And what always made the action on Daredevil so good is it was visceral. You felt what Charlie was feeling between his performance and being in there in the action. And anything that you saw, we really did. We had to put somebody on a wire. We needed something to enhance the movement, but it wasn't a cartoon. It was live action. And you will never match the energy that live action has. So I think that She-Hulk was a massive step down as far as the movement goes and the action. We're going to leave it right there, all right? Because this has been a longer article, okay? But I totally agree. I am offended by the way Charlie Cox and Daredevil was used in She-Hulk. I'm offended by the way Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin was a little nerfed in the Hawkeye series, and heaven help me if they do the same thing to John Bernthal's Punisher. You're just taking the legs out from these great characters from Netflix. And I don't really know what the quality of the air is over at Disney, specifically Marvel. Here on the East Coast, there's been forest fires in Canada, and it has affected the air quality here. Is it specifically affecting just the air quality in the Marvel Studios offices? Gotta wonder. I mean, the MCU is just so intent on making things their own that they are sacrificing these characters, cutting their legs out from under them. And it's bad. It's not good. All right. So, as I said, this is one of the few properties of the MCU Phase 5 that I really wanted to see. But now with talks of it being like with a Deadpool tone, I don't know. I'm indifferent about Daredevil now. I'm indifferent about Secret Invasion, which I wanted to see. Now I'm not sure about Captain America Brave New World. Because it's just indifferent. And that's not good. All right, MCU, let's get the train on the right track and rolling in the right direction. All right. So if you've liked this article, if you've liked my repartee, I don't think that's the right word, but whatever. If you like what I had to say about this article, hit the like button. If not, hit the dislike button. Share this video with other people that you think would be interested in my content style, okay? The way I deliver them, the way I think about things, okay? Because we definitely want the Great Expanse by John Bat 426 to stand out, okay? Do your part, I'll do my part, so that the Great Expanse by John Bat 426 can live up to his name and expand. And David Brent, please let them know where their comments go, sir. Thank you, Mr. Brent. And I'll see you guys in the next video.